Okay, I want to thank you all very much for joining us for our first live session with Zoltan Sabo, aka Borzalom. This is the first live session of 777 with Borzalom. Borz is going to do his best to share his vision of XTRABYTES tonight with our community, and we're going to move right into it here. First, I'm going to let Zoltan, Borzalom, say hello. So, Zoltan, please go ahead, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. I am here. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Question number one. What gives XBY value? Is it the platform where applications can be run, or is it something else?
The original goal was the data storage. And this original goal and expanded because new real value is the XBI based the service trading platform. This changed. The first plan is the data storage, and this expanded. The new plan is expanded the data storage and service trading platform. I think the future winners is at least the decentralized service providers, the static nodes, and this XBI will be a big market, the decentralized service provider, and this service provided is available via statics. And yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to reiterate now, just so everybody can understand. As a lot of you know, Borz, he is deaf, and he has a little trouble with hearing, but he can hear me. He just can't make out exactly what I'm saying. And obviously, he's not a native English speaker, so it's a little hard for those of us who perhaps haven't heard a foreign accent speaking English. So I'm going to reiterate what he just said there. The original goal was data storage, and as we move forward, the goal expanded, and now the new real value of XBY is a XBY-based service platform, a trading platform of different applications being able to utilize the services at XTRABYTES. So the future winners are going to be the trusted decentralized service providers as well as static node owners. And XBY is going to be the market for decentralized service providers. So that's the real big goal of what we're doing here now. So I'm going to move on to question number two. Explain the proof of signature consensus algorithm. What are the benefits over proof of work or proof of stake algorithms, and why is it desirable?
Okay, the firstly, a lot of different algorithms exist, and very hard to compare other because our algorithm has a lot of difference. And I just want highlighted some very important difference on why better the person like other algos. Others is global, not only a proof of stake or proof of work. The proof of signature algo green like the proof of stake. The green I understandable not energy intensive. The proof of work is a lot of energy needed, a lot of miners and power. This is the first why better. But another very important thing, this is a more secure than a proof of work because our POSIGN miners is trusted and audited, not like the proof of work or proof of stake, where is miners is anonymous. And I think the top of important, this is a better fitted the business environment than a proof of stake or proof of work. And this is why better fitted because the miners are not unknown. Our miners and our clients is very well known. And XTRABYTES wants a real business solution And this is a reason why important to fit the business business environment. And pairs and minors required to not be anonymous, and this is another difference. I think this better fitted on the work like a real business. Work no, everybody work no, and everybody trust other like the real business. That is that difference.
Okay, very good. So once again, I'm going to reiterate. The first thing that that he talked about here is that proof of signature is green. It's a very environmentally friendly algorithm, like proof of stake. As many of you know, we talked a lot about this in the Slack and also on the forum about the different size laptops, for example, or different computers that are needed to run a static node. And we have explained that you can use an older machine. It doesn't take a lot of power. And this is very good because as he's talking about the proof of work miners, for example, they're very energy intensive and we are not. So that's a very, very important thing for people to realize. And then he moved on to the security. So we're, proof of signature is much stronger and more secure than proof of work because each proof of signature miner is trusted and audited. So in this sense, it's better for the business environment than proof of stake or proof of work where the miners are unknown. Okay, so XBY wants to be a real business solution. Peers and miners, they have to be non-anonymous. We have to know who they are. That's part of the trust factor that we have here at XBY. And so all the static nodes, miners, are well known and they trust each other, just like in the real business world. That's a big key. So let's move on here to the next question. How do you envision DAPPS running on the XTRABYTES platform?
Very important. I think the XTRABYTES do not use another tokens like Ethereum use gas. The application income always will be XTRABYTES, and XTRABYTES, if someone use the XTRABYTES network and use XTRABYTES application, they need XTRABYTES and paid this XTRABYTES to service providers. This is very big internal demand of XTRABYTES, and this is why to XTRABYTES will be very strong here. Internal business. Everyone spend and get reward from XTRABYTES. The service providers is a static nodes get income, and the service clients the spend money, and this is a big circle. Pairs on the miners not to be anonymous. As I explored this before. Why good not to be anonymous and work like a real business. Inside here are services, and inside here exist the service providers and the business and the service clients. And our income in XTRABYTES, and the XTRABYTES get back to service providers, and service providers share the XTRABYTES to service clients, and service clients spend again the XTRABYTES. I think this business model better than Bitcoin or Ethereum, where just work like a coin. This is not just a coin. This is a business. The business system providers and a payment coin, the XTRABYTES, and the service clients all in one big pack. I not need gas, just XTRABYTES.
And so how does this relate to, for example, the US dollar price?
Yes, this is very important. This is not related to USD price because this internal business is XTRABYTES provided, and the clients use XTRABYTES to pay. This is another difference, yes.
Okay, very good. So once again, I'll reiterate, all application income will be XBY. So if you use XTRABYTES applications, you have to have XBY. So this is creating a big internal demand, an internal economy, so to speak, which is going to make a very, very strong XBY as we continue to grow. So why do you need XBY? Because you spend XBY on the XTRABYTES-based applications and services. After you spend it, of course, you're going to need it again. And when you spend it, you're giving those XBY to the service providers, the static owners. So it's, again, creating that economy, that internal economy. Application developers and static service providers, they're going to turn around, they're going to use it themselves on perhaps something else. And so, again, we go back to the business model aspect of this. This is the reason why it's a better business model here at XBY than what's available with Ethereum or Bitcoin. And then as far as the US dollar price goes, Ethereum and Bitcoin depend on the US dollar price, whereas XBY is independent of the US dollar price because it's all going to be internal business. Okay, next question. How do the core modules relate to the DICOM? Aren't the core modules different, and shouldn't they be on a different level than the external modules?
Yes and no. The core module and the external module connect in the same level. No very big difference. The external and internal modules. Our modules is a service provider. This is equal. Big difference, the connection between the modules. The core modules know other and work know. So integration is deeper than integration of external module. I showed this example. The core modules connect other because work know other, but not connect to external modules. The external modules connect to core modules and connect to another external modules too. This is the first difference. And the internal modules use functions the core system like other modules also use the core system. The difference, the core modules never use the external module functions. But external modules not integrated deep like the internal core modules. Always need use the DICOM interface. External modules use the DICOM interface only. Core module possible direct connection to core system. This is another difference. But there's a total difference. If I want short, the DICOM connected directly to core system. External module never connect directly. Always use the DICOM interface. On the external modules connected to other external modules and internal core modules too. But internal core modules never connect to external modules, just another internal modules and the core system.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to reiterate once again. So the core modules and the external modules connect at the same level. The difference between them is that the connection is the actual connection itself between the modules. Core modules, they know each other. So the integration is deeper than the integration of the external modules. So all core modules connect to each other. All core modules use functions of the core system and other core modules, but the core modules never use the external modules functions. Okay? And so now external modules use the other external module functions and core functions and the core module functions too. So this is the difference. Another difference is the connection level between the modules. Core modules sometimes use the direct connection to the core system. External modules only use the DICOM interface. Okay, question number 5. Can we get details on the security of the network, the algorithms being used, and the encryption methods that are being used? For example, will we be using SHA 256, SHA 512, or some other truncated version?
Okay, the cryptographic key length very easy changeable, like the Thunder 256 or 512. No real difference between the algos, just the key length. This is easy changeable. If someone see the suggestions, a lot of different suggestions available in internet, like national standard and technology and others. If need link, then I will provide. But I think it's unimportant at this moment. After the code will be finished, we will be optimizing the best methods and key links. This is unimportant at this point because the secure hash algorithm 512 length is very secure today, but tomorrow will be insecure. This is technology changing faster. I created the code were easy changeable to encryption method and key length. I do not know. I know today what is the good and secure, but tomorrow maybe come one hack or other thing and need change and this easy changeable. This is a very interesting. And cryptography is difficult, and not only a key length is important. Lot of other extended function exists, like the time stamping. This also need the cryptography. I will use always the top of cryptography techniques, but the cryptography case, if cryptography case is long, then need more times the encoding and decoding, and encoding and decoding time is important. We need find the best compromises, not good if we use a very long case like 4,000 or more. This is very hard and analog today, but easy crackable tomorrow. And I open this door, and if need, very easy changeable. And after code finished, we will optimize the best method and key links. This is the answer.
Okay, very good. So what he says here is that the hash and all other cryptographic key lengths are going to be easily changeable, and they are changeable as it is now. We're going to be providing a link. In fact, you can go to keylength.com/en/4, and here are many different suggestions. So for us, after the code is finished, he's going to optimize the best methods and key lengths. Now, this is not important because today 512 is secure, but tomorrow it won't be secure. Technology is changing very fast. Quantum computing is coming as well. And so he's working on something. He's trying to stay ahead of the curve here, and he's creating a code that's easily changeable so that if he needs to, the encryption methods and the key lengths can be changed. Cryptography is very difficult. Not just the key length is needed, lots of other things like time stamping is also needed. He's always going to use the top cryptographic techniques, also decoding and encoding long cryptographic keys. This requires a lot of time, and so he wants to find the best compromises for all of this. As we said, today the 256-bit key length is secure enough, but just one security issue, one hack, and even 4096 key length is potentially going to be crackable eventually. So this is where he's focusing and staying ahead of the curve here with the security technology. Okay, next question. Have you recruited any new developers, and if so, what are your long-term plans with them?
Yes, I think this is a very important question, and why? the centralization and decentralization is very suggested from the developer team. Like a very good example is Ethereum. Vitalik is only the developer, and I think this is a very centralized development team. If any problem exists, then coin did. Without developer, no coin. I do not want this because I want an hierarchical but for independent development teams, more tasks on different tasks, different development teams. I think more developers is equal the more decentralization. This is very important. If on a coin have 1, 2, or 3, or 4 developers, this is nothing. This is not enough to decentralization. The best developer group is control and manager itself without me. Not need centralization. Different tasks, different groups need. This will first surprise because we will change this in a coming days and we will build these developer groups. This is very important and the Finagua is lot of different and independent developer team every task, and we want lot of different tasks. This faster developed and more independent and more decentralized. I think this is all.
Okay, very good. Okay, well that's kind of a turning point here with our Q&A session, because I know you've been actually very nervous as we've gone on here, and now finally you tuned into coming from inside, and that was a great answer. Thank you very much. I don't know that I need to reiterate, but I will just with the stuff we have written here. So what he's saying is he wants to build a hierarchical but independent development team. More developers means more decentralization. The best development team is one that controls and manages themselves without him. That's what he's trying to do. Early on, we had a small team starting, but the project was not quite ready to take on new developers at that point at a serious level. And in the coming days, in fact, you're going to hear a lot about what's coming on Tuesday. So make sure you guys come out and tune in on Tuesday, because that's going to be another big day. Okay, next question. And the final question. How do you see your role once the major development is done? Will you move into a more vocal public role or focus on continued development?
Okay, I think the short answer is very easy. I will always focus the development. This is my rule. I software developer and I do not want another task. This is the best fitted task for me. You did help me, therefore I accepted the 717 task, but this is very hard for me. As you hear, I am very wrong speaker, and better if I spending my time to develop, and I do not want other tasks. I'm good software developer, but everyone must understand I'm very bad public face. I'm deaf, and my community skills is wrong. I do not want more public tasks than minimal required. I think this public task for me. I always want focus to development.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Boris. And so I think, again, you guys could understand fairly well what he's saying. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to extend this. We have a very talented people, and you, Dave, assembled and a very good group and management level. And the papers is the best, is the XTRABYTES if communicating to outside than me. I good programmer, but the communication is good, but this is not my work. This is your work.
Yes, and I'll just add something on the end here. You know, when I was able to meet Borzalom back in June, you know, as much as he says that you know he's not good with communicating and all that stuff, the reality is that it's as he just said, he is deaf, and he's not a native speaker. But what I can tell you is if anybody else gets the chance and the honor to meet him at some point, you're going to see someone who is actually very good communicating with people, but in his own language. So there's a big difference. So don't confuse him. I know a lot of people have assumed various things with Bors, and the reality is that no, you know, he is actually a very good communicator in his own language. He's very personable. He has many friends, and so it was actually a great pleasure to meet him. But to reiterate, what he's saying here is that I will always focus on the development. My role is always going to be software development. I don't want to do anything else. This is what he does. It's what he's comfortable with, and that's for obvious reasons. And so he continued to say, and this is he jumped in at the end because he wanted to make sure he said this, is that you know we have a fantastic team that we've put together here. We got a lot of talented people assembling at the management level, and these people are going to be the ones who are going to take care of the public role in the ways that they all feel best. What's best for XTRABYTES, and that's all starting to come together here. And again, we're going to hear more about that in the coming days. So. I want to thank you all very much for joining us here tonight. This is going to be the end of our 777 with Borzalom. You know, as you heard, again, he became much more relaxed near the end, and that's good. We may do a re-recording here to make sure that you know everything is relaxed and he's not under pressure like he was feeling at the beginning. So that may be something that we're going to do. So I want to thank you all very much for your time. Have a great evening, everybody, and don't forget to get the word out and join us on Tuesday. The information will be posted again, and the link for that event will be getting posted here at some point over the next few hours, or certainly within the next day or so. Okay, so thank you very much. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye for now.
I also want to say thank you, each member who tried to understand me, and also want to special thank you, Dave, to help me this 777 task. Without you, this not work. And thank you, and also thank you everyone who tried to understand me. Bye bye.
Thank you all very much. Goodbye, everybody.